Hi, my name is Rosalie Tim. Today I'm going to talk about interpreting music. I will discuss the process and the thinking that I have when translating music and what that looks like. But first, I want to back up and talk about my family. My parents, my extended family, and my son are all deaf. This goes back 5 generations. And the reason why I emphasize the word family is because we are very close knit and it means a lot to me. The deaf culture doesn't hold music as a high priority. They believe music is more something that's aligned with the hearing world. But when I was about 3 to 5 years old, I fell in love with music. I wanted to enroll in piano and guitar lessons, but I was frustrated because I couldn't connect to music because my parents weren't interested and they did love music. My parents loved music, but they mostly liked to dance. They weren't interested in the English word for word lyrics and music. They're very closed off to that. But now I can understand music and see the English words and make those connections with ASL visually. I can hear the beat and see the beat and the vibrations and rhythm. I even talked to my brother, who's a coda and an interpreter, and asking him for some advice. And it's just electrifying making those connections. I'm so excited and thrilled about it. But at times it does get lonely because, again, my family wasn't interested, my parents weren't interested in music. And I figured out it was my mission to make music a part of my life and try to have my mom a part of that as well. Again, I found the English words and tried to show that to my mother visually, and she just wasn't interested. She's very closed off again. So I scratched that song. I went on to the next that had a song that had a lot of emotions, and she wasn't interested in that in either. But from my age about 3 to 7, I felt more safe to express my feelings. I expressed my feelings towards music to my parents, and about 80% of the time, it was successful. And then there's 20% of the time where it didn't work. But again, the English words needed to be conveyed through ASL visually. And that was paramount in showing music in my family and showing them. So I really wanted to make sure that the songs had content and meaning and a format behind them. But when I picked songs, I had to find one that was a song that my parents would approve. And again, that was 80% of the time. But again, the song had to have culture related to it, content. What was the goal of the song? All those things were very important. I couldn't just pick out a song out of the blue, like that was be sung as I'm leaving. Where am I leaving to? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't have a story and meaning behind it. I needed to pick out songs that had format to them, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Not a song that would be, ooh, why, ooh la la, why am I here falling in love? I couldn't do that. What was the point and the meaning behind those la la la's and those oohs? Those songs were boring to the deaf culture and didn't show meaning. Now I began to pick songs that had a beat and a rhythm, relating back to why my parents loved to dance. They were avid dancers because they could feel the music, the beat, the rhythm, the tempo. Music like a ballad or an orchestra, they didn't have beats or tempo or rhythm that could be felt. So again, my parents were interested in that. My parents wanted to feel the music, have an experience visually. Again, the music required a strong beat that could be experienced visually, not just taking in the lyrics like a hearing person would. It needed to have words that were strong and the feeling of the meaning behind it. The songs also needed to have vibrations and meaning behind it. And another requirement is the English words and lyrics in songs were needed to be produced in ASL visually. That can be very challenging at times. A skilled interpreter would have to be able to take those English words and produce them in ASL visually through meaning. That was really hard to do. There was a lot of disconnection and relationships that couldn't be connected between those two things, English word and ASL visually. For example, if I was singing the song, "Oh baby, baby, I'm wondering why," there needs to have a background and something to follow that. It's too confusing. The content doesn't make sense. It is confusing to a lot of people, and my parents saw that and they were confused and not interested. My parents again wanted to see the ASL and visual language throughout the lyrics of songs. I do knew I do know two interpreters that are very skilled in this, and they can convey that message and that meaning of songs visually through ASL. The interpreters include the beat and the experience and match those two things together. But it is a lot of pressure and something that you have to feel through your body. Your mood and experiences have to be shown as well through, again, visual ASL. The lyrics of a song must follow the storyline and English words, but meaning is paramount. Again, it's just so important that that message is conveyed visually and to have a feeling of an experience through the vibrations and the music. So again, let's talk about finding a middle ground between the English words and ASL visually. Visual music can be shown through moving your body, dancing, the beats to the steps to the beats, moving your feet. Signing the word music in between songs when there's just instruments playing doesn't show meaning. It doesn't show the connections of the story and the content of the lyrics and showing the meaning of the song. That's not communicating true meaning. It's important for interpreters and other individuals that interpret music to roll up their sleeves and really find that true meaning through their skills in expressing that through ASL visually. Another song is I'm driving through the forest, I'm moving forward. The ASL needs to have the beat. It needs to be moved through your body to show that emotion in those facts of the song, and that can be confusing. So again, showing meaning, having the beat included, and being able to share those English words in ASL. Those three things are important. My husband is hearing and he's also a musician. He plays the guitar. He has a strong connection between the words and interpreting music, and he's able to do that visually through ASL. I can watch and notice that he has the beat within him, and it's really shown through the growth of his interpreting that he expresses the meaning visually through ASL. A high percentage of his success rate. There's a song by Justin Timberlake called Cry Me a River. And visually, you can see the tears coming down as he's crying a river. But what does that mean? Crying a river. It's not really saying that there's a river and water, including in that message. It's about crying excessively. He's hurt and he needs sympathy and empathy. A lot of times, the hearing community takes that empathy and that sympathy and shows the English words word for word and keeps that form, but that's not correct. They need to take the concept of the song and what's really happening. That can be successful. You know, they can take those words and show meaning. However, again, it's just barely aligns with English words and it needs to have more emotion and ASL and more of an experience. The song needs to have rhythm and content related into it and make those relationships and connections. The lyrics can be written in English and I can write them, and I don't take word for word and translate that into ASL. I show the meaning, and it's important to have that included in the songs. I love interpreting music, and there's many groups that I want to share this information with. Music in ASL is becoming more popular, and I just want to make sure that it's done correctly as much as possible and finding interpreters that are skilled. And it's very challenging to interpret music. So, this is something that's growing, and it's important to understand that ASL has its own grammar, sentence structure, lexicon, word choices to show that emotion through facial expressions. And in English words, it's not the same. In English, it is challenging to show music in different perspectives. I want to do some more research and analyze how this can be done more successfully and how songs can be shown through ASL. I want the deaf community to realize that ASL can be used to express music in certain songs. I want the deaf culture to realize that music is important and I want them to have respect for the music and that it's an art form of art. I know we see lots of ads on TVs and music videos like Cry Me a River and it's very confusing for the deaf culture to experience that unless they have ASL showing the meaning and not word for word English. I want to present a workshop on this as well. And I hope there's more workshops that can be done that can avoid the separation of music and aligning with the deaf culture. A lot of people in the deaf community haven't experienced music before. So it's my hope to be Excuse me. A lot of deaf people in the hearing in the excuse me, a lot of people in the deaf community haven't experienced music before. So again, it's my mission to get this message out and provide this amazing art form to the deaf community and deaf culture. Thank you very much.